That was just relentless pressure.
Yeah, a brilliant performance from the players. I have to say that was up there, I think, with one of our best of this season, maybe even of last season. When you take everything into account with the injuries that we've got and players stepping up and a new look team, really. But delighted with everybody. What a great performance.
How physically demanding is it to do that when you bear in mind that's the same 11 for 3 games running now in a week?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what they're paid to do. That they would all say that they're able to do it. So I don't see it being a big issue. I think we had good rest from Paris to today. So I thought we could give a really good physical performance. But it's one thing saying it, another thing delivering it. And the players have to be professional. They have to look after themselves to be able to execute the way that we play. And I can't compliment them enough on what they gave tonight.
For all that dominance, were you slightly nervous going into stoppage time?
I don't know if nervous is the right word, but yeah, I thought we deserved to be more ahead. We weren't. The injury to Nick, the extra time put up, I think it was always going to be that way at the end of the game. We just needed to defend well and see the game out, and I thought we did.
How bad is the injury to Nick Pope?
Yeah, it looks a bad one. Looks like a shoulder dislocation, which is never a good thing for a goalkeeper. So he's done it before. He had surgery and came back in. And of course, he's carried on being the brilliant goalkeeper that he is. But it's a blow for us if he's going to be out for any length of time.
In about 10 weeks, normally after shoulder surgery.
And it's far too early to say. He's going to need to see a specialist.
It's hard to pick out individuals, but 17-year-old Lewis Miley again tonight looks like a man in there.
Yeah, I thought that was his best performance, actually, of the 3 that he started. And I think that is a huge statement because for him, physically, that would have been a big ask. Mentally, it would have been a huge ask. But sometimes it's easier to come in for one game and then come out the team. For such a young player to do that 3 times in a row and that to be your best performance, I think speaks volumes for how good he is.
You've got 5 days off now. Can you go again?
Yeah, well, we have to. There's no other way. We'd love to get some players back. I don't know whether that's going to happen for the next game.
Are any of them close?
They're getting closer, but I don't know if close enough. But let's just look at the players we do have and how well they're playing, and let's celebrate them, really.
Well done tonight, Eddie. Thank you.
He's a little bit cold. He's going to put a jacket on very quickly because it's absolutely freezing out here, Anthony, though. Another goal for you, and that must feel like a big win after the week you've had.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like you said, it's been a massive week for us. Some good moments, some difficult moments, but again, we come through as a team. The same 11 played, three games on the bounce, and yeah, we pulled through.
Does that make it extra satisfying? Because there's so many injuries in your team at the moment, to be able to put in a shift like that again.
Definitely, because it's not just the lads who are injured, the lads who are playing every game. I'm limping, like we've got kicks and bruises all over us, so it's so satisfying because we know how hard we work for each other, and to get the win today is a massive result.
When your goal went in, was there a bit of relief because you'd been peppering, you'd had so many chances up till that point?
Yeah, I thought they defended really well first half, so we had to sort of rejig how we were going to break them down, and what a goal it was. Some great passes of play, and best goal ever, the tap in.
7 goal involvements for you as well in your last 8 Premier League appearances. What's that form been down to?
I think just the team and how hard we work for each other, because I'm trying to be as trustworthy as possible and be a guy, my teammates can count on, and through that I'm getting, my reward, so I'm really happy.
How much are you enjoying linking up with Tino Livramento on that left-hand side as well?
Yeah, honestly, he's been such a good addition to the squad. A lovely lad, like a really, really good person, and more importantly, what a player. His form this year has been immense, and yeah, I'm really enjoying playing with him.
We just saw you celebrating with the Newcastle fans, the whole team walking across this pitch. They've really taken to you, haven't they?
Yeah, the best fan base in the country. They're unbelievable. From just being at the games, we can't thank them enough, because the way we play at home to away is much different, and it's all down to them.
You are the player of the match. Well done, and go get yourself warm.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Performance, I think, they're all good players. Playing the Premier League, you've got to be a good player. But the one thing that football demands is that you work hard and you run hard. And then your natural abilities come with that. And that Manchester United team are just not doing that at the moment. And I don't know whether it's the way they're set up.
Here. Should the formation or the tactics even matter in terms of attitude and work rate that Paul's alluding to?
The only thing I'd say to that, Steve, is sometimes if you're playing in a position that you don't want to play, then it's difficult for you to match where you normally play. So, as we talked about, Luke Shaw gets up and down the field. All of a sudden, he's playing centre-half. So
I can just feel fans screaming at the screen as if to say, I'd give my right arm to be out there and run around. And, and you're talking about work rate away at Newcastle United in the Premier League.
we'd all still give our right arm to be playing, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
And that's why, again, we go back to leadership with Man United. That's our captain, Bruno. He's all over the place. He's absolutely all over the football pitch, playing anywhere that he shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? Anywhere he's positioned, where he's best at. Now, look, I don't know. I said I want to be in the dressing room and see what the manager's telling me. I don't know. But then he's the one as well, getting players in the positions. McTominay, he's off everywhere as well. You're playing away at Newcastle, a very tough game. Play with discipline, play with team management. He's got a young lad coming to midfield, Kobe Manu, who did okay, but he needs people next to him. He needs help next to him. You can't just go flying off and being disciplined. At some point, you will get your chances, but play with discipline first.
And being advocate, is it because he's captain that he feels that he needs to try and lead the team? So he's going all around the place, trying to lift them, trying to get into position. We're saying, well, keep giving me the ball, give me the ball, yeah. I'll get us going. But that does lead to a bit of indiscipline in terms of what the team want.
It's a good point. He possibly is doing that, trying to almost be a Roy of the Rovers type character. He's trying to be everywhere. He's trying to help everywhere. But sometimes on a football pitch, you can run too much. You can do too much. You can be in too many areas of the field. And I think it's messing the whole team structure up. I can imagine playing central midfield. I wouldn't know where he was. Where is he? Where is he? You'd have to be telling him all the time, look, stay there, stay in that position. It's not good you being on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. Go and get back the ball off the centre half. There's no pattern to your play. You don't know where your players are. And I think a strength of a team, you see Newcastle, every one of them players know where each other is. Do you know what I mean? Is that coaching? I don't know. Is it discipline from them? Ill discipline from Manchester United? But when you know where people are, you wouldn't understand how much of a difference that makes to your football team. Well, when I play, I knew who was next to me. I knew who the wide players were. I didn't even have to look. Do you know what I mean? In this team, they're just so disjointed, so all over the place that it's an indiscipline, but it happens that many times. You have to wonder, what is the manager giving to him? Does he like it like that? He can't possibly like it with the way they played tonight. But as Les said, going back to just giving effort more than anything, working hard. That left back, Livramento, must have got in 4 or 5 times in that first half. Now, 1 time, possibly, 2 times, half get away with it. But then the 3rd, 4th and 5th time, come on, can you not see that yourself? Could someone not say to him, you've got to be back here? I'm amazed he didn't get taken off at half time. And I think Garnacho's the same, so he walks back.
Much more to discuss at the end of that one from both sides of the story. But your Premier League Saturday is complete. It started with the leaders, Arsenal, of course, winning just in the end at home to Wolves. Wins for Brentford, bumping one for Burnley, a crucial one for Everton, and Newcastle by a 0-0 against Manchester United. 5 games still to come, of course, on your Matchday Live Sunday edition, including Manchester City at home to Spurs. And Burnley nudge up to 7 points like Everton. They were bottom Sean Dyche's side at one stage today. Sheffield United end the day there. Everton and Burnley now just 2 points off Luton. And a reminder, Newcastle have gone above Manchester United into the top 5. 2 years ago today, they were bottom of the Premier League. United in 7th, 2 points off Spurs, who, as I just said, go to Manchester City on Sunday. Well, he is getting rewards. He scored in 4 consecutive home Premier League games. The first Newcastle player to do that since Alan Shearer, no less, in 1999. From a Newcastle point of view, first of all, beautifully worked goal.
Yeah, it was. They'd had some real good decisions in the first half and weren't able to take it. But it was a Man United trying to play out from the back. But good interplay here. And Gordon doing what he does. You just see Man United sort of like...
I was just about to say, Paul, from United's point of view, though, the way they can see
it. This is crazy. You watch Darlow, the highlight there, going into a midfield position there when his centre half is receiving the ball. If they lose the ball there, which they do, look at Darlow now scrambling back, trying to get to the centre forward, leaves his right winger, which is, I think it's Trippier in the end. It slides a lovely ball across. And again, Wan-Bissaka at the back post sleeps. Look at him sleeping. Watching again. But what Darlow is doing in that midfield position when Manchester United keeper has got the ball, I don't know. Now, look, again, you might be going back to that's what the manager wants. But they're all into this Pep Guardiola idea of fullbacks going into midfield. Your fullback's got to be good enough to do it. Darlow, none of Manchester, well, possibly Luke Shaw, who's actually playing centre-half today. But the other fullbacks, they're not capable of receiving the ball in midfield like that. It's just so open, crazy defending from Darlow. What he's thinking of, I don't know. And again, Wan-Bissaka falls asleep and they concede the goal. And they'd actually defended okay throughout the game. Got a little bit of luck, I suppose, throughout it. Newcastle by far the dominant team. And they end up giving a goal away with stupid play, I think.
And we keep talking about Eddie Howe improving young players in particular. Is Anthony Gordon a case in point?
I think a classic example of it. I think, since he's gone to Newcastle, he's gone from strength to strength. I think he only ever scored 4 goals at Everton in his time there. And he's come to Newcastle in a season. He's come to Newcastle and he looks like he's got a new lease of life. And the way Eddie's playing him and he's getting the best out of him, and week in, week out, you've seen him. As he said, they're all walking around with knocks at the moment, but they want to play because they're on a high at the moment.
They certainly are. Positives all round for Newcastle. Big negatives today, though, for Manchester United. Their reaction.
Harry, that must feel like a really tough result to take in what's been a gruelling week.
Yeah, it's been a tough week. Obviously, 3 away games in 6 days. To be fair, the first half, we looked like we'd played our 3rd away game in 6 days. The tempo wasn't there, the intensity wasn't there. There was a lot better than us in the first half, especially. We spoke at half-time and I felt we just needed to come out and start the second half a little bit better. We grew into the game, but we just didn't have enough in the end.
Why couldn't you find a way through in the end? Why wasn't there enough there?
Well, I think the last 20 minutes we put pressure on. We could have got a goal. We had 1 disallowed, 1 off the line. They defended the box really well in the final moments. But no, we didn't create enough throughout the game. I felt our threat wasn't big enough throughout the game, and I'd say they deserved the victory in the end.
There's been a lot of talk about Marcus Rashford's form, a lot of negativity around it. How's he feeling? He didn't look too happy when he came off.
Yeah, listen, Marcus had an unbelievable season last season. Scored numerous goals for us. This season it hasn't clicked for him. He's working hard. He's putting everything into it in training. And everyone in that dressing room knows what Marcus is and knows what he's about. And he'll get back to his best, I'm sure.
All of those 3 away games in 6 days got a reasonable bearing on today's performance or not?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of an excuse. As we said before the game, it's difficult coming back from a Wednesday night game into 3 or 4 hour flight. It can be tough, yeah, but I think an extra few hours does give you a little bit of time psychologically to get over that. You had a nice rest this afternoon when you could have been playing. But there's no excuse for the way he played, I don't think. There was never any... Look, if that game was 3 or 4-0 to Newcastle, I don't think we'd be sat here complaining. They never threatened attacking-wise. OK, they had the chance with Garnacho early on, but it wasn't an outstanding chance. Other than that, Harry said they came into the game, they grew into the game. I think I missed that part. But they did. Look, they threw the ball into the box, but I thought Newcastle defended it quite easily. They had the one off the line, I suppose, when Reguilon with the volley, then the offside goal. Other than that, I thought it was just so easy for Newcastle. They made life easy for them. As I say, if it was 3 or 4-0, I think we'd be sat here saying, yeah, fair enough. It was a fair result.
And the only downside for Newcastle is, unfortunately, another injury. Nick Pope, who's been in fine form. We make that 12 unavailable to Eddie Howe now.
And I think most of those 12, if you looked at them, they would all be starters for Newcastle.
I am so frustrated today. The player are not good enough. We need to sell some of the player. After Rashford signed a big contract, he's one of the highest paid player in Manchester United. Look at attitude today. His desire today. He don't have desire to work hard for the team. After last season, he worked very hard. After he gained a new contract, he refused to work hard for the team. Most of the player in the starting level, None of them good to play for Manchester United unless the youngster, unless only him. Bruno Fernandes, I don't see what he do in the full 90 minutes. Only luck we have today. Newcastle are not critical today. Always they score all their chances. We would have conceived close to 4-5 goals today because the first half is a disaster. The second half is a disaster. Towards the ending, when Newcastle have tired, before we see they try to put effort in the game. What is that? Newcastle who played the same team 3 times without making a changes. The first changes they make for the 3 match is today when their keeper have injury. Look at us, Manchester United cannot even create a good chances. The full first half 45 minutes, we have only one shot. Only one player have a touch in their box 18 is Garnacho. Apart from that, we doesn't do anything in the first half. This is not acceptable at all as a Manchester United player. Something must be changed because we cannot continue blaming the coach all the time. Some of the players are not good enough. Please do subscribe to the channel. See you for my video. Let's see you for my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.